So basically, there's a shortage of Rolex watches right now. Some folks out there think that Rolex is intentionally limiting supply to make people want them even more, but the company insists that's not the case. And now they're proving it by announcing that they're building new production facilities. So what does this mean for watch enthusiasts? Well, let me try explaining it by telling you about how and when Rolex will be boosting their watch production. Rolex doesn't really say how many watches they make, but people have made an educated guess that they produce around 1 million watches every year. That's what's being churned out from their big factories in Geneva. There were rumors going around that Rolex was planning on building a big new facility, but they hadn't confirmed anything yet. But now the company has finally spoken up and given some details about it. Apparently, they're planning on investing over $1 billion to build a massive facility in Bull, Switzerland that's gonna be huge, like around 1 million square feet huge. They're saying it'll create around 2,000 new jobs, which is pretty exciting news. But we're gonna have to wait a while because it's not gonna be ready until 2029. So what's happening until then? Right now, if you walk into a Rolex store, you'll notice a lot of empty display cases just sitting there awkwardly. And if you're one of the unlucky ones on the waitlist for a watch, you're probably pretty frustrated and taking to the internet to vent. But the good news is that Rolex is working on some solutions. They're setting up temporary facilities to help out in the short term. There's one in Villers Saint-Pierre that's still being built but should be up and running by 2024. And they're also planning on starting production at a Romont facility in 2025. They're even opening a third site in Bull specifically for recruitment. So it sounds like Rolex is taking some steps to address the current shortage of watches. Also, some people have been going around online saying that Rolex sport watches will be easier to get in the future. Is this true? Well, it'll happen eventually. That's the whole point of Rolex efforts, to meet the growing demand for their watches. But don't get too excited just yet, because production isn't going to ramp up immediately. Even when the temporary factories are up and running, it's still going to take some time for those watches to make their way into the stores. In case you didn't know, the steel sport watches from Rolex have been hard to come by for a while now. Things got worse in 2020 with production interruptions, but the shortage started well before that. So if you want one of these watches, be prepared to either wait a long time, sometimes years, or pay a premium price to get it sooner. So what does this mean for you? So basically, the effects of increasing Rolex production will take some time to show up in the market, but we can expect to see them as early as 2025 when the first temporary factories start operating. The good news is that it seems like the shortage of Rolexes may have already peaked. Second-hand prices are starting to come down and it seems like there are a few more new watches available. However, since Rolex is such a popular brand, demand will likely continue to be high and prices will probably keep going up each year. But with the current trajectory of the market and the increase in production, we should start to see a better balance between supply and demand, which is great news for all the watch enthusiasts out there. That's all, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to help the channel grow.